Okay, the third portion, the third part of the same chapter to be called as the diversity of the living world is exchange of matter and energy change. Okay, now to talk about this, we have to understand it in 5 different postulates or 5 different points to be called as source. Now, the source of all energy, okay, the source of all energy is your sun. The sun is the source of all energy. Then this solar energy, when it reaches the surface of the earth, they are trapped by organisms to be known as autotrophs, meaning they are self-reliant, self-sufficient, and they basically trap the solar energy with the help of chlorophyll. They manufacture a product to be called as C6H12O6, that is carbon, hydrogen and oxygen compound, and this particular compound basically transforms itself from one organism to another. It basically moves on from one organism to the other in the food chain. Now, food chain, what is a food chain? Now, food chain is basically, you may have studied in your junior classes, what is a food chain? I will basically write a very simple food chain to be known as the grains or the grass basically is eaten by a rat, and a rat is basically eaten by a cat. Now, if you see in this particular food chain, okay, this is a food chain, that is grain, cat and rat. Now, the grain is a plant, is of a plant origin, that is the seeds of the plants are called grains. So if you see here, the plant absorbs solar energy from the sun, water and minerals from the soil, and in presence of sunlight, with the help of chlorophyll, they manufacture glucose molecule. This glucose molecule, when the grain is eaten by a rat, this glucose molecule goes to the rat. And the same glucose molecule, when the rat is eaten by a cat, this goes on to the cat. But now the amount of energy, please listen carefully, the amount of energy goes on decreasing, but the size of the organism goes on increasing. Now, when the energy is being transformed or transferred from one organism to the other, the energy gets transformed in the food chain. Okay, what gets transformed? The energy gets transformed, and this basically increases disorder in the energy. This disorder in the energy is known as entropy. Did you understand that? I repeat again. Transformation, the energy that is produced by the plant and stored in the grains, that is when it is eaten by the rat, that energy or that glucose goes to the rat. When the rat is eaten by a cat, that energy again goes from the rat to the cat. Therefore, when the transfer of energy takes place, the energy gets transformed, and that transformation of the energy takes place in the food chain. Now, increase in the transformation of energy creates disorder, which is known as entropy. Now, if there is an increase in the entropy, leads to the death of the organism. Okay, when there is an increase in the entropy, what happens? The organism dies. Now, there are basically 3 different systems, okay, of transformation of energy in the environment. That is open system, closed system and steady state or homeostatic system. Now, what is open system is, if there is a continuous flow of energy in the system, then it is known as open system. Like for example, the autotrophs. Okay, the sun is there, so as soon as there is a day, means the solar energy is coming to the surface of the earth and the plant is making the food. So there is a continuous supply of energy, and that type of system is known as your open system. The second one is known as the closed system, where there is no exchange of matter with the surrounding environment. So in the closed system, the energy is not directly obtained as that of the open system. So we can take examples like heterotrophs, where it has to depend on some other organism, like for plants, to obtain its energy, and it has got no direct link or no direct exchange of energy with the surrounding environment. Then comes the steady state. Okay, now steady state is the input of energy and the matter are balanced by the output of energy and matter. That is, whatever energy is produced is basically whatever is put in the input of the matter is balanced by the output of the energy, and that particular state is known as the homeostatic state. Now, this is the exchange of matter and energy change in the environment of an organism.